Good evening, everybody, and you're very welcome. My name is Oisin Coughlan. I'm Director of Friends of the Earth Ireland, and you're welcome to this event organised by our local group in Dublin, Dublin Friends of the Earth, who invited all of the candidates standing in the Dublin European constituency for MEP to attend tonight to discuss Can Europe Lead on Climate Change. As you can see, 6 of them have accepted that invitation and turned up. You will notice yourself who isn't here. I'll leave you to make your own conclusions about what that means, where they stand on the question. I will tell you who, in case anyone you don't know, who is sitting with me from your right to your left. Caroline Simons from Libertas, Mary Lou MacDonald from Sinn Féin, Deirdre de Burca from the Green Party, Plunchis de Rossa from the Labour Party, Patricia McKenna, Independent, and Gay Mitchell from Fine Gael. So the format for this evening is we're going to put to the candidates the question that is the title of tonight's talk: Can Europe lead on climate change, and are the Dublin MEP candidates up to the challenge? Which they'll speak on for 2 minutes. We'll go on from there to talk more about the international context and the deal in Copenhagen that was coming at the end of the year. And then we'll come to the floor for contributions and questions before we finish. We'll be finishing at the very latest at 7:30. And I'd say now that, so you won't be surprised when it happens, that Mary Lou has another commitment and has to leave at 20 to 7. So we'll get going with just a few words, very few words, I was asked to say on where Europe is on climate change now from the perspective of environmentalists. Most of you will know Europe has a proud tradition, really, of leading on climate change, or has had a proud tradition of leading on climate change, stretching back to the Earth Summit in Rio in 1992, where Europe was pushing for relatively tough targets at the time that industrialized rich countries would stabilize their emissions of greenhouse gases that cause climate change at 1990 levels by 2000, and that policy would be to keep global warming within 2 degrees before, 2 degrees more than it was in pre-industrial times. And they retained that 2-degree target until now. And many observers would say, though, that unlike Rio and Kyoto, where Europe really did press for the most ambitious and adequate deal scientifically, that this time round, as we approach Copenhagen, Europe has been wobbling somewhat. They've supported the science in the UN negotiations initially, but now when it comes to actually making commitments, their commitments aren't the same as what they said the science requires. So there's something of a slip between the cup and the lip at this point. But the game isn't over yet, and who we elect in June to be our representatives in the European Parliament is important. The Parliament and the Commission play really important roles in European climate policy, along with the member state governments at council level. So we hope to hear some really interesting inputs tonight from the candidates and hope to help you make up your minds about who can lead on climate change.